Good morning, dear students of class 11 science. Welcome to EVS class. We're dealing with the third chapter, that is pollution. In the last class, we have learned about the definition of pollutions. Then we have learned about the air pollutions. Okay, so in air pollutions, we have learned about causes of air pollutions. Then we have learned about the important causes of air pollutions. Then we have gone through greenhouse effect and the greenhouse gases also, along with its effect. So today we will continue with the same topic, the same chapter. So we will learn about the need for pollution control. Okay, why there is a need in order to control the increasing air pollution or the pollution level in our ecosystem or in our planets. So exposure to air pollution over a long period of time is responsible for a large number of diseases or problems. That is true, because whenever we will be exposed for a longer period of time to the polluted air, then we can suffer from different types of diseases or from different types of disorder. Okay, studies have shown that particulate matter present in the air can have life-shortening effect. Other pollutants like oxides of sulfur, nitrogen can cause respiratory diseases. Noise pollution not only has effect on the blood pressure and causes stress, but is also responsible for the hearing impairment. That means that whatever the pollutants that are present in the air, which will pollute the air, they're highly hazardous, they're highly harmful to the human being. Not only the human being, but to the other living organisms. When we talk about the noise pollutions, that noise pollution will not only bring the stress, not only increase the stress level of an organism, of human being, but it also causes hearing disabilities in human being. Okay, land and soil pollutions lead to diseases caused by biomagnification. Biomagnification means when the concentration of the toxic substances keep on increasing from one trophic level to another trophic level. Okay, so land pollution, soil pollution will lead to biomagnifications, where the concentration of the toxic chemicals or the harmful chemicals keeps on increasing from one level to another level. Organic waste are breeding grounds for disease-causing germs. Water pollutions makes the water unfit for drinking purposes and is a major causes for the waterborne diseases, because when we used to drink the polluted water, then we can suffer from different types of waterborne diseases. Okay, so we can see that the pollution is very harmful for us, and so it's very much important that pollution should be kept under control. Clear? Otherwise, if we are not going to control the pollutions like air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution, in return we are going to be affected by it. So we have to control the pollution level. Okay, so let's go to the next one, the prevention and control of pollution. So various countries have set legislative standards in the form of concentration level that are believed to be low enough to protect the public health. So a particular concentration level emission has been given by the respective governments. Okay, and we have to follow that in order to check the emission of pollutants. Okay, which will be better for the public health. So sources emission standards are also specified to limit the discharge of pollutants into the air so that the required air quality standard may be achieved. For example, just think of the vehicles. You have heard about the BS3, right? Or like BS4, recent BS6 vehicles are coming on. What do you mean by this BS4, BS6 vehicles? That means a particular emission of pollutants from the vehicles has been set by the government. Okay, and every car manufacturing company has to follow that norm. Clear? So that means a particular discharge of pollutants has been set by the government to emit the pollutants into the environment, so that pollutions can be controlled. So for example, air pollutions, I've told that BS6 vehicles are being like they're on a productions. Why BS4 has been banned for production, but now BS is coming out? Because the target level has been set by the government. The emissions of pollutants from the vehicles has been set by the government, and that emission levels need to be followed by the car manufacturing companies. Okay, so they are coming with the new norms. Okay, so rapid development and industrializations has increased the level of pollution air, water, land. It is a vital importance that this pollution is kept under check. If you are not going to check the pollutions like air, water, soil, whatever the pollution are being there, if they are not under control, then we are the one we are going to suffer the worst from it, because we are at the top of the food chains. Okay, so therefore the various steps have been developed, have been came forwarded in order to control the pollution levels, which we will discuss. Clear? So first one, let's go through the environmental audit. So this is a management tool that provides a structure and the comprehensive mechanism for ensuring that the products and the processes of an industry is not causing any kind of environmental damages. So under environmental audit, any type of emission of harmful pollutants from the industries will be checked, whether they are causing any type of hazard to the environment or to the living organisms. It will be checked under the environmental audit. So a Gazette notification of 1993 makes it mandatory for polluting units to submit an environmental statement. The primary purpose of this is to enable the units to take a comprehensive look at their productions, processes, and take the corrective actions to reduce the pollution. So each and every company has to submit the environmental statement where they will have to see their production processes and have to take the correct measures to reduce the pollution. Number 2, waste minimization, which is one of the strategies adopted for minimizing the industrial pollutions. Objective is to assist the small and medium scale industry in adoption of cleaner production practices. And the project has been sponsored by the National Productivity Council on Waste Minimization in Small Scale Industries. Okay, so here what we like is that under this National Productivity Council on Waste Minimization in Small Scale Industry, we are establishing and running the waste minimization circles in cluster of small scale industries. Capacity building in area of cleaner productions, establishment of demonstrations units in selected environmental or industrial sectors. Number 3 is environmental statistics and mapping for proper environmental management, reliable information and mapping of area, needing special attention for pollution prevention. So here in case of environmental statistics and mapping, we have to identify those areas which are worstly affected by the pollution, and we have to take those measures in order to control those pollutions as required. So projects and pilot studies has been initiated for this purpose. Next one is development and promotion of cleaner technologies. Clear? Now next one, we'll go through the life cycle assessment, which is mainly a decisions cum management tool, which is mainly used to give the information regarding the environmental impact of the product and the processes and take the corrective measures to minimize the resources use and waste. So in case of life cycle assessment, we have to give the proper information regarding the products which are being produced along with the processes, that whatever the products are being produced, does it have any impact on the environment, like if it is causing any types of pollution or not. If yes, then we have to take the corrective measures, we have to take the corrective steps in order to reduce those pollution. Okay, noise pollution has been on increase in the most major cities, that we know very well. To regulate and control this noise pollution, government has issued various notifications under the Environmental Protection Act 1986, specifying the noise limits for the various sources and the occasions. So we have got a particular limit of making noise, okay, in order to control the noise pollution, and this particular limit has been set according to the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Clear? Next one, in order to ascertain the ambient quality of air in various places, a monitoring network all over the country has been established. So in order to check the quality of the air, whether it is good or not, okay, so different types of monitoring network has been set all over the country to just check the quality of the air. So it covers 98 cities and monitors the amount of sulfur dioxide, oxides of nitrogen and the suspended particles in the air. In metropolitan cities, the respirable lead, toxic matters and the substances such as aromatic hydrocarbon are also monitored. So whatever the pollutants are present in the air, nowadays it is being monitored. Okay. The ambient air quality is monitored by the Central Pollution Control Board CPCB in coordination with the State Pollution Control Board, Pollution Control Committee and the Research Institute. So these particular boards are coming forward to check the quality of the air in different cities and in different places. The role of CPCB, the Central Pollution Control Board, is to study the data generated, compile them and publish the consolidated report. Okay, so let's go to the example PCB, or like Haryana State Pollution Control Board, Gujarat State Pollution Control Board and the Jammu and Kashmir State Pollution Control Board. These are the example of few PCB, okay, the Pollution Control Board. Now let's talk about the correction and sources, because we are mainly focusing on limiting the extracted pollution or the pollutants from the source pollution or from the source level. So let's go to the correction in the source. So air pollutions cannot be completely avoided, it is true, but however we can try to control it, right? So controlling the pollutions can be achieved by two means: control and prevention. So these are the two means by which we can control the air pollutions. Okay, so let's talk about the pollutions which come from two types of sources: point sources and non-point sources. So point sources means the pollutants came from the identifiable sources like factory, chimney or automobile exhaust. So what if we are aware that from where the pollutants are being emitted causing air pollution, then that is called point sources. So it can be factory, it can be any vehicles, it can be any chimney. So these are the point sources where we can exactly know from where the pollutants are being entered into the air and causing air pollutions. Since the sources is known, corrective actions can be taken in this case. Okay, the place of origins, we can take the corrective measures and we can just control the emission of those pollutants which causes the air pollutions. Non-point sources means the pollutants are dispersed over a wide area and the sources cannot be pinpoint. We cannot know from where exactly the pollutants are being released into the air. They are called the non-point sources. Okay, like for example, agriculture runoff. So it is difficult to take corrective measures at these particular non-point sources. If we are not aware of the pollutants being emitted from particular source, then we cannot take the corrective measures to control it. But if we are aware that from where the pollutants is being entered into the air, then we can take the corrective measures in order to control it. That's why we are talking about the point sources and the non-point sources. So corrective measures for the control of air pollution can be taken in the point sources, whereas we cannot take the corrective measures in case of the non-point sources. Clear? So let's talk about some of the common methods to eliminate the pollution at sources. Collecting the pollutants using suitable devices before using the air. So if we are aware of the sources of pollutants being entering into the air pollutions, then we can collect the pollutants using suitable devices before being released into the air. Destroying the pollutants using catalytic or thermal combustion, and releasing the pollutants through tall chimneys to get maximum dispersion. These are the few methods which we can use to control the pollutants of before being they are discharged into the air at the point sources. Clear? So here we have finished the air pollutions. In the next class we will talk with the other types of pollution. So this much for today. See you in next class. Thank you.